Hi everyone, Katerina here. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I'm going to show you how I made this really gorgeous but very easy fun fold card. I love the papers and I love the daffodils. And just gorgeous. So everything that I used to create this card were included in the latest issue of Simply Cards and Papercraft, and this is 240. Just look at the size of this stamp set. It's huge. There's so many lovely stamps and sentiments included in this. They're gorgeous. Also was included an embossing folder, which I'm not using today. But what I am using is some of the papers that came with this issue. And they are gorgeous. Some of them I already used or photocopied. You can see a slight color difference there. They are floral, they are daffodils, yellow and all different polka dots. I really love these papers. They are really happy looking. I love the colors in them. So this is what I'm going to be using today to make a slightly different color combination for this card. Now I already prepared, I sat down and colored in a lot of these daffodils, all different stamps from the set. Now, these are so easy to color in, and I've said it before and I will say it again. I am no coloring artist. I've seen other creators do this, so I decided to give it a go. And it makes a whole lot of a difference. And I'm going to show you exactly what I did. I'm going to take a piece of watercolor cardstock. Now, this is not the bright white that I used for those images, but it works exactly the same way. Now I'm going to stamp this with VersaFine black ink, but before that I prepare the cardstock with embossing body because I'm going to be using some heat embossing on this. And to heat emboss the image, I'm going to be using the Wow Super Fine Clear Gloss Embossing Powder. Now to color this in is going to be so much easier now because all those lines, the black lines, have been raised up by the embossing powder. So it is going to help you contain the colors and the water within those lines. So what I like to do is take some mustard seed, this just oxiding, and a little bit of a water. This is just plain water in this spray bottle. Take just a thin brush, and with some of the water, with a little bit of a color in it, I go and add them into all of these petals, making sure that there's water. Now if I wasn't using watercolor paper, which I tried, it started to bubble up pretty quickly. So I'd say for this technique, probably watercolor paper is the best. So there's a lot of water sitting on those petals. I'm not sure if you can pick that up on the camera, but there's quite a bit. And now I'm gonna go in with a now I'm just gonna go in with some yellow and add it to the base, and the water will just kind of do its thing. And if I don't think that the water is carrying it, I just add more water to it, and it will spread the color out right through those petals. And once these dry, these look so lovely, and this is so easy to do. Honestly, I don't even know why I felt so intimidated by this. When my kids yesterday saw me paint or color in all those images in there, they wanted to do it too, so we ended up actually stamping on it an A4 page for each of all the different flowers, and they sat and they colored them just exactly the same way I'm doing. I heat embossed the images for them, and they really enjoy doing it. It was such a lovely afternoon. Now I'm going to use this is the spiced marmalade for this bit of the flower. And I'm just going around very randomly. I'm not even paying attention where I'm putting those colors. And I'm just going to let this dry. You can, I did try to dry them with a heat tool, but it kind of changes, it moves the colors and all. And they still look lovely, but the way I like it best if I let them dry naturally, and they dry pretty fairly quickly, it doesn't take too long. So if you're intimidated by watercoloring, try out this technique with the embossing powder. I really think it makes a whole lot of a difference. I will be definitely using this more and more in the future. I definitely feel more confident about watercoloring now. So for the card base, we will need a piece of cardstock that measures 12 inches by 6 inches. And on the 12-inch side, we're going to score down at 1.5 and 3 3/4, and do it on the other side as well. 1.5 and 3 3/4. Turn the cardstock to the other side, and again 1.5 and 3 3/4. Again on the other side. And the two inner lines at the 3 3/4 inches, just fold them this way, and the other one fold out. Again, in and out, just like this. It's going to give you this shape. Now, when making this fold, I was playing about with measurements. This card would give you a 4.5 by 6 inches card as the end result. If you prefer it a different size, just fold your cardstock differently. For example, here's one that I was playing with, and this is exactly from the same length of 12 inch of a cardstock. So this one I scored at 1 inches and 3.5, and then again 1 inches and 3.5. And if you fold this down, it will give you a slightly different look to that same fold. You can see the difference. These tabs are much smaller in here, but this would give you a 5 inch by 6 inches of a card. So it is very easy to change up in any way you like. Now from here it really is just down to decorating this card. So what I used for the base color is this mocha, which I had in my stash for such a long time. I used to get these on eBay from a seller, but they don't sell them anymore, or maybe they just don't deliver here to Northern Ireland anymore. I do not know, but I just can't find the seller again. But it's 160 GSM, very good quality acid-free cardstock. So I'm gonna give you the measurements for this one. The matte measures 4 1/4 by 5 3/4, and this lovely pattern paper that I use, the floral one, measures 4 inches by 5.5. Just let me double check that, but I think I gave it right. Yeah, 4 inches by 5.5. Yes. Now I'm not going to decorate this bit in here, but you can if you want. What I want to decorate is these two bits in here. So for this, I'm going to be using again that same mocha colored cardstock, and that one measures 5 3/4 by 2 inches. And the pattern paper from the set in the magazine, 1 3/4 by 5.5. So I'm just going to glue these down. And the pieces to decorate the front flaps of the card measure 5 3/4 by 1 1/4, and then 1 inches by 5.5 for the pattern paper. For the embellishments for the card, these ones are cut by using the inverted scallop dies from Creative Craft Products, and I got this from Craft Stash. I absolutely love the design. It is really lovely, a real nice twist on scallops. So I'm going to try to center this first of all, and this will give me a pretty good idea of where to put my glue. So I'm going from here just where the pattern paper is underneath, roughly to that. So the sizes that I used for this, 2.5 inch squared, and the next one down from it is about 1 3/4 of an inch. That looks pretty good to me. Now before adding my florals and all in this, I'm going to line up this other square that I used this exact same die, and I just stamped out from the stamp set with love. I'm going to line this up and here, and I'm going to add my glue all over this. And once I fold it in together, this way I can make sure that it is lined up perfectly behind that embellishment. I mean, if it's off, it really doesn't matter, but I just like doing it this way. So first of all, I'm going to take a couple of little daffodils or daffodil images to embellish the inside. I'm going to put this one in here, and this one, or the larger one. Yeah, I think I go with the larger one for this one. I used the smaller one in the previous card. In this one I will change it up a bit, and I'm going to go with the larger image in here, and just adding glue at the back. And this is collal glue I'm using, so it is going to leave everything nice and strong once it dries. And for this one I'm just gonna go again with my glue. Trying to center it as best as I can. Just like so. Now for the front bit, all I have to do is add one of these images. Now I don't know whether to go with the same one that I used on this card. I love that image, I think it is gorgeous. Or this here would look nice on it as well, wouldn't it? I love it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for this one just to make it different, and I will keep these. There's lots more of these little daffodils left that I can use for a future card. So I'm gonna go with this one. Yeah, trying to see where I need to put my glue on again. This just kind of helps me guide it a bit, yeah. Just like so. I will probably go in with just a little bit more glue in here. Make sure it sticks down properly. So that's it, nearly ready. The only other thing that I did on this one is used Nouveau drops just to embellish it a bit, and it was the Dream drops, and this is Fairy Wings. It's such lovely, it's pearly but has got iridescent shine to it. I really love it. I'm just going to make sure that no air bubbles are in it. That looks good enough. So and it's just very important to let this dry because you're gonna mess up your papers, which I did in this on this other card, so I had to replace one of those papers. Yeah, so now I know, and make sure that I'm going to leave it dry proper, high up, out of reach. So that's really it. I don't want to really move it too much until those drops dry fully. So I'm going to show you on this one. There's a lot of room to write your message at the back, and this will fit into an envelope made for a 6 by 4.5. They are easy to make using your envelope punch board, or it would fit into a 5 by 7 envelope. I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. I absolutely love these cards. They are easy to make, They are lovely and colorful, and they are gorgeous. The foam fold is really making it a bit different. It would be a lovely mantle pleaser. So let me know if you liked today's cards and if you're going to give it a go. Please don't forget to like my video if you like the tutorial, and consider subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate every one of you, and I will be back with another tutorial very soon. Thank you. Bye.